give Leonardo DiCaprio his Oscar. Oh, this is actually one of my old swimming team trophies. Here's my review of The Revenant. The Revenant is starring Leonardo DiCaprio as Hugh Glass, who was an actual American frontiersman and fur trapper. The fur trade was huge in the US from the 15 to 1800s, as Native Americans would trade fur with Europeans. In exchange, they will receive weapons and goods. In the opening scene, Hugh is hunting in the forest with his son when a group of natives invade the camp where all their friends and fellow hunters are staying at. The battle scene that ensues is absolutely incredible. It's a mix between dynamic and close-up shots, and it's visually amazing. It's a feast for the eyes, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like my brother said, it's like Saving Private Ryan in the 1800s. I've never seen arrows pierce skin with such veracity. They were like bullets. They were like... So days later, after they escape this carnage, Hugh gets mauled by a bear, and I'm sure you've heard about this scene if you haven't heard about anything else. This is one of those times in film history when you're actually seeing an actor turn Super Saiyan right in front of you. Leonardo DiCaprio should get an Oscar for this scene alone. So let's just take a second to think about movie magic here. There's no real grizzly bear. In fact, Leonardo was being attacked by a stuntman in a blue bear suit. But Leonardo sells this scene brilliantly. If you look at his facial expressions, if you're going to go see the movie, if you're going to go see it again, if you haven't seen it, when you see it, look at his facial expressions while he's being attacked by the grizzly bear, and also listen to his screams. You feel sorry for him as a human being because of just the sheer agony that Leonardo is giving us on this screen. And you're in your chair, and you're squirming, and you're worming, and you're like, when is this going to end? When is it going to end? So when thinking about this realistically, after Hugh gets mauled by this huge grizzly bear, he's pretty much incapacitated. So he becomes a burden on the rest of the frontiersmen, and his supposed friend, played by Tom Hardy, robs him, does something very inexplicably unforgivable to him, and then leaves him for dead. So this movie and book is perfectly dubbed The Revenant, as a revenant is a person who comes back from the dead. Hugh Glass metaphorically has to come back from the dead to seek revenge on his friend John Fitzgerald, and in doing so, he has to fight the extreme cold and the wilderness. Again, the violence in this film is slow, brutal, and painful. It's kind of like that Mandingo wrestling scene in Django when you were forced to watch those two guys tear each other apart limb from limb by using their hands. There's no slow-mo, there's no bullet time, and there's no 360 matrix reeling panning camera scenes. And every time I thought Hugh Glass was gonna die, he managed to survive. It's like watching somebody go through 3 or 4 Mortal Kombat fatalities and live to tell a story. He's like Wolverine from X-Men and Kenny from South Park all rolled into one. Here's some fun facts. According to E! Online, the actual Hugh Glass was mauled by a bear, robbed, and left for dead, and he did travel thousands of miles on horseback and in his own Nike boots to seek revenge. So think about what I just said. The actual Hugh Glass was really mauled by a bear, robbed, and left for dead, and traveled thousands of miles on horseback and on foot to seek revenge. It's hard enough to get people in 2016 to meet in the same room at the same time, and they all travel by car. And the shoot for this film was harder than abstract algebra. It took them 9 months to shoot this thing in the Canadian cold. They spent half the day moving all of the camera equipment from location to location. Then they were using natural light, meaning they had to wait till the sun was in the perfect position. Then they only had 1 to 2 hours to shoot the scene. If they missed that time slot, they had to move all their stuff back, then move it back again the next day, and then shoot the scene all over again. In fact, the shoot was so grueling, according to E! Online, that Tom Hardy had to drop out of the Suicide Squad and give his role to Joel Kinnaman. It's such an amazing parallel when you think about it, but because of their choice to shoot in the actual wilderness, the cast and crew had to deal with some of the same conditions that Hugh Glass dealt with in real life on his journey to revenge, and that makes it an accomplishment in and of itself. Again, Leonardo DiCaprio was nothing short of amazing. He ate raw bison body parts and slept inside of multiple animal carcasses for this role. This movie had great acting across the board. The cinematography was absolutely incredible. So I'm giving The Revenant an 8.9 to 9 out of 10. I will go see it again. Actually plan to see this movie because it is an event. It is 2 hours and 30 minutes. So what did you think about The Revenant? Did you like it, love it, or hate it? And as always, subscribe to the Mason Dixon Entertainment YouTube page, like the Mason Dixon Entertainment page on Facebook, and like the Good News Baltimore page on Facebook as well. We got more movie reviews coming your way. We got more book reviews coming your way. And we got more random stuff coming your way. I'm in the bathroom.